Okay, so hi, welcome to a pre-recording for the Kith and Kin Hospitality Disasters podcast. I thought I would start by just trying to brainstorm 1001 disasters. Obviously not 1001. But actually, you know what? I think there's this thing that happens in our brains that when you sort of have these things, you just go, oh yeah, but you fix it, it's all right. You just go, yeah, it's fine. You forget about it. So, as part of the podcast, I'm going to be bringing along Lauren, who happens to be my sister, but has also, over the last 25 years, worked with me quite closely. She's worked for me 3 times now, and obviously, as my sister, she's one of the people that I've moaned to about my problems and my issues and just things that have gone wrong. So she kind of knows half of these stories anyway. And she's brilliant. She's going to prompt me, and we're going to have a conversation about trying to remember all of those terrible things that have happened in hospitality that have got. To be fair, the wonderful thing is that these are the disasters that the consequences of which have led to my successes. So actually, I'm more than happy to smile about them and share them. But I think it's nice to share them because I think that whilst other people are going through exactly the same things, for them to see that they're not alone, I think is really, really important. So things that I'll be sharing with you, or things that just come to the top of my head, are, the time that a disgruntled member of staff later on the same evening, then he'd been sacked, but he then broke in and burgled us. Yay! Police couldn't do anything about it because his fingerprints were all over everything because he was a member of staff. Oh, fantastic. The time that raw sewage came in from the whole, while we were at the bottom of a whole block of flats. So the whole flats sewage backed up right into our function room. So that was fun. Lovely. That was a lovely job clearing that up. There's been plenty of business partner disagreements and times when we've fallen out or not got on or had differences of opinions. The time when my business partner had a tendency to, it was a man, used to go into the men's, because otherwise it'd be very weird, go into the men's toilets, and whilst people were using the men's toilets, ask them if they liked the bar. Lovely. We didn't get on about with things like that, because that wasn't my approach to how we handled our customers. Another occasion, business partner. It's a long, complicated story, and no doubt I will get round to telling it at some point. But a business partner basically pulled out of the whole business, and like that, inevitably led to the businesses all collapsing, and inevitably led to my bankruptcy, which was a fun time in life, and at the time did feel like quite a crisis. The crisis was less me at the time, though, than the huge number of staff that were immediately made unemployed. But I think that that's quite an interesting conversation, because it isn't just about me and the consequences to me. It's actually the number of decisions previous to that led to that decision being made by my business partner. And whilst at the time I may not have been very charitable or diplomatic, now looking back, I can see the choices that were made, the decisions that were made, and actually why, to a certain extent, in his circumstances, that was the only decision that he could make, and I just happened to be part of the damage caused by that. But there's things like, the impact on decisions that are made that impact your family, that the friendships you have or don't have, actually, quite importantly, because of your choice of being in hospitality. The consequences of being under-resourced, to not having the right resources at the right time, whether that's staff, obviously money, not being able to pay your bills. All of these are day-to-day challenges of the hospitality industry. But then, there's the amusing occasions when actually it's the right end of stuff, when you find yourselves in the middle of a police. Oh, actually, this wasn't funny. I don't know why I thought this was funny. Well, actually, it is funny. But I had a business right in the middle of a police operation to arrest a massive gang of football hooligans, and it was the police just pretty much closed down the road and closed. Long story. different time to tell, but it was funny-ish at the time. Or the occasion when accidentally our bar became the after party for a massive regional MMA meetup, which was admittedly slightly scary, but also quite amusing in hindsight. So I'm looking forward to sharing all of these things with you, and I'll say Lauren will be joining me, so it will be a conversation rather than me lecturing you, and also so she can remind me of all of the things that have happened over 30 years, the challenges we've faced, and the absolute disasters that have actually led to some of the most amazing successes. So I really look forward to sharing all of that with you, and this, getting to know you all. Brilliant. So see you all soon. Cheers.